I'm going to have to make a longer bumper. I'm still having my peach scone here. Take a look. Man, there it is right there. Yeah, this is peach. It's not real. I warmed it up a little bit, but it's kind of gotten cool. Excuse me one second. Good morning. I'm Michael, or as the grandkids call me. Hey, Hey, Roo, don't talk with food in your mouth. I'm Roo. Good to have you here this morning. Thanks for jumping in on Roodoodles and Roodoodles Live on Monday morning. I'll finish this later. Carol made it over the weekend. Actually, I think she made it Friday. Maybe we took a meal over to our son and daughter-in-law. She does that from time to time. She'll just say, "Hey, I'm bringing something over," and my son called and said, "I want breakfast for dinner. I want BD, breakfast for dinner, BFD." And so she took over quiche and just was fabulous. Anyway, hey, I hope you're doing well today. Let me say hello to a few of you and get into the morning because we got something going here. A lot of you jumped online already. Thank you for giving up your morning to pull up a chair and a cup of tea. I'm having Builders make mine a Builders. Yep, I got a note from them. They're not a sponsor yet. Hey, I'm actually having this great conversation back and forth with their office. I got a note from their Britain office, from the California office too, that said, "Hey, thank you for the Roodoodle you painted. Mail it to us," which I'm going to. It said, "No green tea, dang it, make mine a Builders." And so Builders tea is just a strong tea. Some of you, I'll bring the box up in a few days. I think I have some coming from them, but the box says, Britain wasn't built on chamomile, and they can tell by my accent that I'm not British, and so that's why it's fun. But I love the British humor. They really fit Roodoodle's humor. You know, that's sort of like it walking down the street and it goes like that. So let me say hello to a few of you here. Let me put my glasses on. The other pair, of course, on my head is just my headband today. You know, during COVID, I've only gotten so far, one haircut in the last 18 months. So that's good on the budget. Put the money back into the show here. And oh my gosh, Rue 857 has so many people in it. Thank you. And you know what that's allowed me to do? Purchase a new camera. And so it's just fabulous to keep doing this. And so thank you for that, you know, because gear that you do this with, computers, microphones, cameras, all the wires that I have hooked up in here, it looks like spaghetti junction somewhere, like I used to live next to in Atlanta. So good morning, Donna Barton. You were first on the list. You know what? Thank you, Laurie. Thank you from up in Attica, New York. I always love that. Today is Labor Day, but you know what? I've never felt like painting is laboring. To me, it's play, it's play, it's play, it's play. If you start thinking that your art is your work, then I think it was Samuel Clemens, you know, Mark Twain, who said, work is what we make of it. But it's in the whole second chapter. Saturday morning was come, and all the summer world was bright and fresh and brimming with life, and there was a spring at every step, and music issued from the lips. Cardiff Hill beyond the village was bright. And you read the second chapter of Tom Sawyer. And you'll see that work was play for some people. And of course, Tom got in trouble, and they painted that. His friends all painted his fence for him. So that's what I'm trying to get you guys to do: is paint my fence for me. It's all about painting, isn't it? See, I got back to that. Didn't even know I was going to get there. Ruth Ann Godey, thank you for being here. Doug Bacon, good morning to you, sir. And I hope you got a list I sent out for you. Doug Bacon is one of my friends. And Doug Bacon is an English name, by the way. If English breakfast tea goes well with bacon. Doug has some coffee too. He sent me a pound of his coffee. And you know what, Doug? I've yet to try it, but I will, because Carol will grind those beans. And because I got some clams roasted, I'll have to move over a little bit there. And we're going to have a cup of it. Thank you very much. Hey, I love you being on the show, so I'm going to jump right to it here. Alex Mebin, thank you, man, for hot morning in Southern California. I got to tell you, the Southeast. Alex, you wish you were living back here. Yesterday was in the 70s, and we had 2 meals outside at the back porch. Glenda Small, thank you for here. Burke, Kim Sheets, thank you for being here. I don't think I turned off my text this morning messaging. I don't know if I can get to it right now, but we may have a ding or two coming in. Good morning, Patricia Brooks. Thank you for your notes and for your work. Teresa Rose is here. Dana, Lana, everybody Dana, just the 4-letter names. Dana, Lana, Michael, Reyna. Terry Tardy, been waiting to see if you're going to take Labor Day off. No. You know, when you're a freelance artist, you don't have holidays. You know, it's not like, well, we're off today. It's a holiday. No. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, though. Along about Wednesday afternoon, after the Roodoodles show, we're going to load up the covered convertible, the covered station wagon, and we're going to head west for about a couple miles and then head north just to touch up into the mountains and just go up in the mountains and maybe drive a couple miles on the Blue Ridge Parkway. Gosh, if you haven't seen the 469 miles of the Blue Ridge Parkway, you need to see it. And you need to see it with the top down and a cup of tea. And love it, love it, love it. Hey, thank you for being here. Julie, thank you for being here. Judy, it's Judy. I'm sorry. Sandra, thank you. Debbie, I can't go through everybody. Vive, saw a painting that you do. You're some of you people who are following me to be even in the painting show. Let me tell you something about you. The only reason you're not selling more of your art and your art is not blessing the world is because you're just going to have to get better at telling the world who you are. And here's the thing I'm going to tell you. And this is, you got to be careful. When I grew up in Tennessee, so born on a mountaintop in Tennessee, Davy Crockett, remember the whole, he went to the Alamo, he helped. The point is, Davy Crockett would always say, don't beat your own drum. And yet he was the best at telling people about his riverboat addicts and his stories and antics. And so my point is that at some point in time, if you're going to be in the art world, you sort of have to tell people you're an artist. You have to tell people, this is what I do. I talk for a living. I tell stories. I paint. I write. I throw water balloons. I make weird things out of metal. I consult with companies and I do marketing. I have to tell people I do all those. Otherwise, I'm sitting here going like, well, maybe the bus is coming by and I haven't seen it. All right. So anyway, hey, look, I'm going to jump on something this morning because people are asking me lots of questions. Do roosters need lips to sip coffee? Just asking. Chip Fur, I'm counting on you. Do roosters have lips? There's my climb roast buddy right there, man, my coffee roasting buddy. I go over there and my nose just gets filled with these beans all swirling around. And so, hey, the coffee, we're working on the coffee. And the mugs, should have the answer on the mug soon. My mug's coming out. The Roodoodles mug, it's going to happen real soon. Here's some shameless marketing right here. Get ready. I'm just going to pop it up there. Poing. Oh, it's a diner mug. You know what diner mugs are great for, right? They're great for holding with both hands. Oh, they're great at putting bacon grease in. There you go, Doug. They are great at milking one goat, if you have one goat. My friend Hank Oscar Hank Will III, with Grit Magazine, he couldn't use it. He has to use a bucket. That man has got more goats and sheep. And get this, I follow his dogs online, follow his dogs. His dogs are amazing. They keep the coyotes off the sheet of herd. A mug like this is heavy. It's good. If somebody snatches your purse, you can take them down within the first 25 feet. Boom. I've known my grandmother would reach for these as her defense weapon if the skillet was too hot to pick up. The cast iron is, of course, still the number one defense tool around. I still have that cup up here. I'm sorry. Not sorry, I just forgot about it. Sandy, good to have you here. Michael Ashburn, the scone is inevitable. Yeah, Ash, it is, and that's with the I and A-B-L-E. But you learned a new word. I saw your post, brother. You are so funny. Jack Wolfenbarger, I got a note that returned. Your Rue 100 card came back, and yes, I'm still painting some. Okay. Lee Packus, good morning to you from Baldwin, Florida. Lee's sometimes in Orlando, sometimes he's in Baldwin, sometimes he's in Fort something. I think maybe, do you have a mobile home? You just keep driving around, you're in a different place every day. I love it. Hey, I love to catch up with you people. Okay, so you don't get holidays off when you paint, says Linda. Linda, I like your paintings too. Very good. Marie Dole, thank you. Renee, morning glory it is. But no, it was a scone. It was a peach scone. And so let's get busy here. I got some busy painting to do today. I got to tell you about something that I'm going to do. There's a word here that I want to paint this morning. Here it is right here. Coming to the desk. Coming to a little picture there so you can see me. Wait, I'm going to put my face right in the scone. Here, let's see if I can get it over there. No, I can't. My camera's in the way. There it is right there. Okay, close enough. Can't smell it through the microphone anyway. All right, so here we go. The word this morning is Gricer, G-R-I-C-E-R, and I've already painted on this page. Looks like I did the Heisenbug, which is an era in a computer system. Remember those of you who are just tuning in, and I use this book. It's just Weird and Wonderful Words. Erin McKean, I've sent her now 2 emails. I'll send the third one this week, and she hadn't responded yet, but it doesn't really matter. I love her book personally, and so I hope we've sold some because some of you have been buying it to paint on, but you've been reading the words. So I learned some new words like this, but I just go in and I find a word, and this sparks my creativity, okay? Because that's how God sort of wired my brain. So here's what happens. If I find a word in here, like Heisenbug, here's one on this page right here. It's an error in computer program that disappears or it behaves differently than when you try to fix it and isolate it. So sometimes I'll be chasing something on this show and I'll go, why is my audio not up? Because when you do a show like this and you're doing a live show, you're like a Gricer. Wait, those 2 words go together and there's one's G and one's an H. But it's an uncertainty principle. You don't know which way to go sometimes. And some of you may not have seen this, but I painted a little hen here, and I painted her, and I called her Lolita's chicken. And Lolita's chicken had 3 legs, and so, or actually it just had 2 legs. That was my dad's roosters that he had 3 legs because there are 3 kids in the family, and we all love chicken legs. So he figured out how to develop a rooster that had 3 legs. So that when we, of course, dispatch the roosters, we could each get a leg. Someone asked me how they taste. I said, we could never catch one. So, boom, shh. You got to love that British humor, huh? So Lolita's chicken had 1 leg going this way and 1 leg going this way, okay? So her, like this. And so when the dog would come into the yard, or they would get ready to go, chick, 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 and you'd take out the corn to throw it. All the chickens would run to get food except Lolita's chicken, and she'd go, ah! So they would have to pick Lolita's chicken up and carry it over. But they took care of that chicken. Okay, so that's a Heisenberg. It's something. That gets me to the live format of when you have a bug in the system and you can't figure it out. The word this morning is Gricer, G-R-I-C-E-R, Gricer, and it's someone who braves the rainy and windy platform to catch a glimpse of an unusual train. It came from grouse shooting. Like if you've ever been grouse hunting, it's like shooting jets out of the airplane. They come up, they scare you to death. And I've shot grapevines in half and limbs off of trees. I love the taste of grouse and gravy over grits or rice. Oh my gosh. But shooting a mountain grouse, a ruffed grouse, is so tough. And so Gricers are people. So I thought what I'd do here is come up with a little idea on that one thing that works. Let's see. Does this look like big circus cannon here? Let's see if I've got a Sharpie somewhere in my box. Here we go. Right here. No, that won't do it. I need a darker pen. Here's one right here. Big flames on the front here. Big cannon. Got the big end. Got the big flame. Got the roo back here. Circus cannons are my favorite. And I built a circus cannon a few years ago. And I hauled it around in the truck for a few days. And I literally hauled it around in my truck. And I built it so a person could fit in it. It had a 30-inch opening. It was 9.5 feet long. And it had these giant wheels on it. And so we wanted to shoot a person out of the cannon, and we thought that would be kind of fun, but we really knew that we couldn't because we weren't smart enough to figure out how that actually worked in life. So here's what we did. We worked out an arrangement so that as soon as we went around the corner out to the stage where we were doing this, these people grabbed the guy we put him in this suit with a crash helmet, kind of a silver shiny suit, and we put him in this crash helmet and we sent him outside. And as we rolled it around and told all the audience to line up over there behind this barrier we had up, and we had him aimed out over the lake of this conference center. And so we said, hey, look, be careful because there's a lot of, we just don't know what's going to happen. And this is one of those Greiser moments. It's those moments where you're going to brave whatever elements come in store here. We're starting to spit rain just a little bit. The wind was getting up, and we're using all that to our benefit, saying, it's a little windy, it's a little rainy, but the show must go on. So we're drawing this cannon, and we're doing some... It was all painted up and had some circus stars on it, which right now it's a little too wet to do any circus stars, but you get the idea. It was beautiful looking, had some flames painted down the barrel like this, had a little fuse on the back. And then, of course, it had I was the rooster, of course. I thought I was. That was supposed to ignite this thing. And in this case, it's a peep. We'll draw a little peep up there. What I do is I think about these words and how they apply to my art. And that gives me an idea just to do a painting, a warm-up painting. So that's why I use this book. I want to get to the full story, though, there for you. So as we rolled it around the building, as we brought it around the corner, these friends of mine jumped out from the hedge, and they grabbed my friend's hands as he held him out the barrel, and they pulled him out the barrel very quickly. Okay, so he gets yanked out the barrel. But the audience doesn't see that. Sleight of man, I call it, sleight of man. Not sleight of hand, because it was the whole person they dragged out of there. But I had a little flag on front of the barrel. I had drawn a little flag in that was on a wire that had a little wire that run back to right here on the back of the trigger release. This little red flag was my signal, which I'd already said. When you are ready and you feel safe, release the flag, and then we'll know you're ready to fly. Godspeed. And so we got ready, and we pulled it out, and we did a countdown, and we asked him if he was ready, and we couldn't hear him, and I put my ear against the cannon. Just nothing was happening. And then, of course, what happened was the flag flips out. We fire the cannon, and when we fire the cannon, it's a Greiser moment. Everyone who's braved the weather is looking for train spotting. They're going like, there for that split second, there for that millisecond. They all really thought this guy was being shot out of this cannon across the lake. And it was fabulous. It was one of those moments where you just go, that really happened. Boom. We turned the cannon up like this, and out rolled the helmet and his silver suit, which we had an extra laying in there. And then we all just went, look, don't look, don't look. Even if you see him, don't look. And we just rolled the cannon out across the yard like we were dejected circus performers. And to this day, there's something about working in program situations at conferences or camps that's a Greiser moment. It's one of those moments where you go, people will stand and weather just about any crazy thing if you're going to do something that makes them think that something great is going to happen, and it's train spotting. There's your word for today. There's my Roo painting. It's a Roo firing a man out of a cannon. That's a long way to go to get to a story, but it just came to me when I saw the word this morning, and that's why I do those words, because here's what I get. I get emails from you already. I'm getting emails from people in the class who say, I get this paper out, I lay my brushes down, I have my paint sitting there, and I don't know what I'm supposed to paint. And I go, start to think like an artist. Look, everybody else can think this is a paper towel. But when you think about it being Napkin Man, or when you think about it being a Santa beard, or when you think about it being something that you're going to put under the table leg, maybe it's mechanical, maybe it's humorous, maybe it's funny, maybe it's a handkerchief from grandfather's funeral. So, whatever it is, that don't get the anxiety, wade through the anxiousness, be a Greiser, go out and just wait and say, I'll figure this out. So my next door neighbor, I was standing at the fence, and I was just out walking That's a thought. What's this? What's this? Hey, it's Monday, right? I can do what I want on Monday, right? Look at this. I don't think I've done this in 100 days. I don't think I've done this at all on this show. Well, I've just been out walking since daylight, I guess, talking to my neighbors on the far side of the fence, exchanging old stories of politics and war, and I've just got to be. Yeah, I've just got to be your friend. Well, I've just got to be your friend. Everyone has turned their back, and you're all that's left just seeing, Lord, you know what I lack. So maybe you could just call me. I'd always owe you one, and I've just got to be. Yeah, I've just got to be your friend. That's enough of that. I had my guitar in here in the office over the weekend, fiddling around. So I was out to walking by the back porch, and my friend said, "Hey, you still paint roosters?" My neighbor said that, Steve. He said, "Hey, you still paint roosters?" I go, "Oh yeah." And he said, "You ever paint any big ones?" And I goes, "Oh yeah. Sometimes I paint some that are like 6 by 8 inches big." And he goes, "No, I mean real big ones." And he said, "Is that all you paint?" I said, "No, sometimes I paint tiny ones." And he goes, "Tiny ones? I don't need a tiny one." And I said, "What's the matter with a tiny original painting? I mean, really, I do those all the time. In fact, I'm still trying to catch up all these tiny originals that I've done as business cards. I made this plea that I'd paid 100 of them, and I'm still having a hard time catching up doing it." And so I said, "I do these little paintings." He said, "No, I really want a large one." Being the greiser that I am, the train spotter, the person who goes out and says, "Hey, let's just get with it. We'll do it. What the heck?" And so this morning, being a little bit of a risk taker, I mean, I just did a song, which I haven't done in eons, and I moved my scone over here. Oh, my gosh, that's so good. All right. I'm going to paint. Look at this. This is the paper right here. See it? Oh, my gosh. Look at this. Look at the size of this paper. I don't know how big this is. It is, how big is this? 18 by 24 inch. Okay, there it is. 18 by 24 inch. Got a little water on it there, a little dirt. Not going to stop me. Let me grab a pencil. You know it's scary when I start with the pencil. And I need a ballad here. I got to have a ballad. Let me start a little music here. See if eBay doesn't shut me down with a little John Stewart here. Just an old love song. I had this album in the 70s when I wrote that other song. All right, so I'm going to reach out here. I'm going to move this paper around a little bit. You ready? I'm going to paint a big one. Here we go. All right, good morning, Rue. Susan Peters, Bobby King, John Small. Hey, look, no, your phone is reversed. Maybe it's coming to you reversed, so I can reverse the shot, but I don't want to. But if you want to make me some, I know you're a designer, John Robert Small. If you want to design me some shirts that have the logo on the other side, I'd like to have them. But I just think that's my strong side. I wouldn't mind having the polo over here and going in the other direction. If you want to design some of those, I'll be happy to wear them on the show. All right. All right, here we go. Camera flips it, Patricia said. See, she's thinking there. Yeah, and I don't mind it being backwards to how some of you folks see it. To me, it looks right when I see it. So, but he says that, and I'll tell you why John Robert Small says that, because the man is a designer of fashion. He's a fashion designer. His artwork, I know who you are. So just design me some shirts with the horse on the other side, and then it'll look right from where you are. Coming up, he says. I love it. All right, you guys are a great audience. So here we go. Hey, got a few people online watching. I have decided to be a greiser this morning. Just wade through the cold weather, the rain, the anxiety, the waiting, the anxious turmoil to paint a big roof for you. I've never done one on this show yet of this size. So here we go. Now, my friend Steve, he has a company. He's a land mover. Okay, I mean not him personally, but his company is. They move dirt. I call them dirt movers. And so his company moves dirt. And so I said, well, he said, I want a big rooster, one of your Roodoodles from my office, and I want the thing pretty big. I want to put it up over the conference room table. And I go, okay. So here we go. I said, what about if I got it. I got it. The idea just came. That's why I use the book. Look at a word, walk around, get a little white space, and be creative. So here it is. We're into it for 20 minutes here, and I've really painted one thing this morning. What am I doing with all this extra time? So here we go. When I got a pencil, I'm trying to be a little careful. There we go. Oh man, this is a big root right here, okay? I'm going to need some extra paint, I think, here this morning. I'll use enough paint on this guy to... and not spending a whole lot of time sketching him because those lines are not important anyway, right? I mean, like, who cares about the lines? Come on. This is life in the real world. So there's big old foot. There's a big old toe. There's the third one right there. Here was my idea. Let's see if I can do it here. I'm thinking that there's a shovel handle coming down like this. And let's see, it has a piece on it right here. Yeah, I'm thinking that's probably going to work right there. And then there we go down here, the shovel. And then we get a shovel in the dirt. Not bad for the first shot of a shovel. You got to be careful how you say that. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do here is bring this around like this from his wing on the other side. And I think what I'm going to do here is pull this leg, the knee down like this, and bring it over. And then wrap a toe over here, wrap one here. Maybe the third one up on top, and maybe just a small toe underneath. That's it right there. He's got his foot on the shovel. I did it. I'm happy. Okay, man, you don't know when you're dealing with drawing something this large sometimes and just doing it for the first time, you don't know what it's going to come out like. All right, so let's see. What if I came in with a little bit of, this is a charcoal pencil, which charcoal pencils and watercolor artists, they're oil and water. Oh my gosh. I was insulted one time by an oil painter, and she said, "Oh, you paint with water." And I said, yes, I do. It's, the human body's made up of about 80% water. So what is it you're saying? And she said, well, I'm an oil painter. And I go, oh my gosh, really? Do you use 10W40 or do you do a 3-in-1? She wasn't real happy. And then I said, my uncle once made $1 million. He sold a painting. It was just old, used up hydraulic oil from his bulldozer. And she wasn't real excited about my hanging out with her. But, I just say, are you kidding me? You're complaining at my art? If it'd be like me going into third grade class and saying, oh, students, I paint with watercolor, and you're still using crayons? Who are you third graders? Hey, look. Don't worry what other people think of your art when you're learning art. In fact, don't even worry what people think about your art when you've become a good artist. Some of you who will be painting in Rue 857, which is the painting class coming up, and it's full right now. Thank you so much. The October class is still open. You can sign up. Shameless plug. You can do that. And it's going to be kind of a continuation. I'm going to go into some bugs and other creatures and poems and illustrations and quick little paintings. My point is this, and you can find that at roodoodles.com. My point is this. Some of you painting with me in September, coming up in 2 days from now, are better painters than I will ever be. I've seen your work. But you're tight and you're worrying about your art and you mess with it and you get fussy and it all turns brown and you're going, this guy doesn't seem to care. I do care. I'm just a greiser. I don't mind getting wet and cold and a little anxious and frustrated as I stay out there and make art happen. That's why you need art supplies. That's why you need a place to paint somewhere. So here's what I'm doing. I'm taking a little charcoal here and I'm mixing charcoal and watercolor together this morning. So what? It's my pencil. I bought it. It cost me $1.87. It's not a charcoal stick. I'm going to just get a little bit of this in here. I just like a little bit of that look in the legs of my roosters and in the beak, in those parts that I consider heavy, accentuated parts. Look at this. I like this foot right here. I like this. Man, that's got some boldness to it. I might just have discovered something that I want to use from now on. Who knows? And who cares but me? And I'll tell you, Steve's going to look at this next door, and he's going to have fun with this because I just have a caption that just popped into my head for this. So there's the shovel. There's some dirt piled up. Look, I even thought to put the shovel right there with the 2 screws in the handle. See there? A little detail. I know this is a long way off, but this is one big honking piece of Paper. Margaret, my singer, that's funny. You should ask her if she checked her dipstick lately. And Marie, don't hate oils because they're fabulous to paint with. Okay, so see, you can't do that. You can't ever say, and people say, well, I like pastels better. It's like me saying, hey, do you like boots or shoes? Do you like shoes or boots? And so if I choose shoes, some of you are going to say, oh, I thought he was a boot guy. If some of you say, oh, I wish he had said boots. Look, I wear Blundstones, okay? They're from Australia. In fact, they're not a sponsor yet, but they should be, because I've been wearing Blundstones for 15 years, and that's the only shoe that I wear, because they're light, they're comfortable, they're rugged, they're tough. I used to get my first ones from Blundstone. We got a couple Aussies on the show. Hey, hook me up with Blundstones over there, because that would be some fun stuff to talk about. I'll paint a rooster in Blunties. In fact, that would have been a great thing here. Man, this rooster should have had on some Blundstones. Okay, how am I going to paint this with these tiny brushes that I use on the show? That's what I want to know right now. This is going to make my typical brushes look pretty weak. So I'm going to have to go to some heavier artillery this morning. So here it is. I'm going to move over a little place. Got to get my teacup out of the way. All you guys are always watching me do a little 5-minute painting somewhere. Look, I'm pulling out the arsenal. Here it is right here. These are P.H. Martin's liquid watercolors. In fact, they're old. I think there's still some in the bottle. We'll see here in a minute. Shaking them up a little bit. Here's what they look like if you want to see them right there. Take a look. P.H. Martin. I don't know if it's going to focus. P.H. Martin fine art watercolor. These are water. These are not oils. These are not alcohol. These are liquid watercolors. And I'll tell you something else about them. They are messy. This was not a good day for the white shirt, so I chose this blue shirt with the polo rider that goes back and forth. All right, here we go. All I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bigger brush, and I got some here. Look what I got laid out. Wow, these are Joe Miller. These are the Golden Fleece. This is his signature brush. He's got several of this line out. Wow, and I have this brush here, which I got to love. Okay, this is called a Harmony Squirrel Quill. This is made out of brush tail. It's Harmony for everybody but the squirrel, because he's still in horror out in the woods somewhere because he's lost his tail. But I'm going to use a Harmony brush, Harmony, and I'm probably going to use this big brush here. What's that about? That's a full inch, an inch flat. Wow. Okay, this will be fun. First thing I'm going to do is just grab some water here in my jar. I think you can see that over there. Oh, you can see it right there, can't you? Yeah. Let's see if I could come in just a little bit. I don't want to come in too much. I want to leave it right where I got it. All right. Let me grab this squirrel tail and get some water and just go in here and just paint some water in like I do my small work. I'm not doing anything different. Am I worried about staying in the lines? Not in the least. Okay. Just kind of popping it in here. If you can see from my view, there are big pockets in here that are holidays where I don't have the water. I'm not trying to paint the whole thing. I'm not putting this in the sink. I'm not doing a wet wash where you would wet the whole piece and paint sky and let everything soften and meld and mold and pan together. Nah, that's not what I'm after. Okay, that's not my style. That may be the style that you learn, and that's fabulous if you want to learn that style. I had a charcoal pencil somewhere. Where is it? Oh, there it is, hiding in the edge here. This is supposed to be cut off right here because that's on the back side. That's his back leg coming out. Bothers me like that when both his legs look like they're on one side. That's Lolita's chicken. Here's what I do like about this squirrel tail brush. Can you see that? It was all like a big old ball. It looked like a golf ball in the end, and now it's very contained. It does very much like the bamboo brush, so I like that. This charcoal is actually breaking down a little bit and becoming a little bit liquid. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take some of this blue right here. I'm just going to drop it in the tail. Get ready, because this is always my favorite part right here. Watch. If it drops. There it goes right there. There's a little bit right here. I'm going to have to go buy some of this. I have to run up to Joe Miller's place and get some liquid watercolor, because this is pretty cool stuff. Just put a little bit in there like that. I might put a little bit right here too, down on the leg, because I like a little purple in this bird. I'm going to get some red. And I get my squirrel tail brush. I could slow down a little bit because I don't need to paint anything but one painting today here out of this big old thing. It's like painting 4 of my little paintings, or 5 of them. I'm going to put a little bit of red right there, and I'm just going to take some of this red, I'm going Harmony squirrel tail brush hunting right now. Ash, I'm sure you are, buddy. Ash is, you guys know Ash. Ash made his big walk from Selma to Montgomery on the courthouses for a ministry in Atlanta. People are donating to it. It's been really fun. He's about to get his legs back. Those legs that he had to sue for non-support while he was on that walk. He's about to get those back. He's got something else he's cooking up now. So he and I got to get together in October again and do something crazy. All right, so I'm gonna take this. Big brush right here. Man, look at the size of this. I don't paint with a brush like this very often. I feel like I could paint a barn with this right here. So here we go. I'm just going to take some of this and push it in there like this. Just push it around a little bit. I'm still holding it back and I'm still staying loose. I'm not in here just, really cheating it in and worrying about this little drop. Nah, just let it go like that, okay? And then I love this. Look right here. Look what's happening right here. This has got a great look to it. This is where I just dropped that red in there. I like the bottom end of some ruse sometimes. I got a little purple in there. Maybe put a little of this red up here. It is funny that you start talking to your paintings, or maybe I do. Maybe it's not that funny at all. Maybe there's a knock at my door with those people coming in shortly for me. But I love what happens when you just get creative and you don't worry about it too much. People worry about their art way, way, way too much. I started to say, where's the yellow? And I'm holding it. Oh. No, you not only have to shake them first, Sevilla, but sometimes they do get gummed up. And these, honestly, I got to tell you something. These are 10 years old. 10 years old, okay? So it's about time for me to buy some more, okay? Now, notice I didn't put any water up here in the beak. Woo, there went a big old glob I don't need. Okay, so I'm going to have to go in there and get some of that out. So I need to call in the eraser company. So let's go get a little bit of that and reach in there and just get some of that out. There we go. Now I got to put that in the trash over here. Because if I don't, it's going to be on the rug in my office, which you should never have a rug in your office where you're painting, okay? You just shouldn't. Here's a little squirrel tail right here. This is off a tiny little squirrel. All I got to do when the squirrels are in my bird feeder is I just go outside and hold one of these brushes up and go, hey, take a look. They scatter. All right. You know that's not true, right? I just made that up. All right, I don't know what happened to my music, but I was listening to some Jon Stewart there. It must have just quit. Man, right out of the 70s, huh? A cowboy singing rock and roll music. Who is this guy? If I was as talented as you, I wouldn't worry about my art. Hey, you know what? Start where you are, okay? I have not been doing this too long, but long enough to know that even when I wasn't what I'd consider a good painter, I tell you what, I didn't worry about my art. My art has to be pleasing to my eye first, because I didn't even ever think about selling art or doing anything with painting art for sure. That's not true that I made some metal sculptures, and that's true I traveled as a musician and a singer and a storyteller and a bad actor for many years. I was in a couple films that were just really horrible. Oh, gosh. I did it all to see if I could pay the light bill for my family, and what patience my wife had with me. But, you know, we took turns between jobs, and where God opened doors for us to go next. So that's the way life works when you're in the fast lane. What I don't have is any turquoise here. No turquoise in my, so I'm going to have to reach back into here and get a little turquoise out of here, because we got to have Terry Tardy turquoise in the roux. There it is right there. I always like a little bit somewhere in there just to give us a little bit of sheen and shine. I kind of like that. And I'm also going to have to go in here and get my, no, watch this. I'll show you something fun. All right. I'm going to take this brush right here, and I'm going to go in here and I'm going to work this yellow and orange together right here. In fact, I'm going to put some more yellow in there. See all that red's running into that? It's because I use a ton of water up here. All right. I'm just going to use some of this right here. Mix it up right on the paper Look, I'm letting it roll down here. I like this orange looking head. I also love that color for my legs. So I'm going to go in here and just do the legs out of that. Let me push this forward. There we go. I think you can see it all. So I'm not even mixing on the palette. I'm using my painting itself as the palette. Now, here's the good news. Steve hasn't seen this. He doesn't know what it's going to look like. So if he doesn't like it, I'll just post it somewhere. Somebody will want it for their shop. Somebody will want it for something, and I'll paint him another one that I like better. But in this case, I'm happy with where this one's going for me because it sort of tells the story. Well, it doesn't yet, but it's going to tell the story of his company a little bit, I think. There's a rooster with his foot on a shovel, which is where my foot always was when I led a crew outside. Shovel can sleep about 8. You ever seen those guys you drive by on the interstate and they're all just standing there holding a shovel with their foot on it and they're kind of leaned over? I think, look at that. It's a twin bed shovel. All right, let's do this right here. Let me go in and get some of this right here and mop it up just a little bit. And I want a little more of that red. I want a little more of that yellow coming down through there like that. So just grab a little more of that yellow and take it into here like this. And then maybe put some rough little edge feathers on him like this. I think he needs a little yellow up there. I think he needs a little touch of black up there too. Can you see his comb? Let me go down, pull that back. Look at this. I'm just rolling my brush right here, picking up a little of this black, and I'm going to go right in here and shade some of those corners and edges. And then maybe right in here too, get a little shading. See what I'm doing? I'm just using this to pick up a little shading. And I don't want my rooster, this is an outdoor rooster. He's digging in the dirt all day. I don't want him to be too clean. I maybe want some of this on his feet down here. I got to go get some sort of brown. I could probably make it right here if I wanted to. A lot of you have learned how to make brown, right? It comes from not washing out your brush and dipping in all the colors at one time. And then you come back and you go, ugh. You have a word for it. You call it murky or muddy. So you got to be careful when you do that. You don't want to overuse too much browns or too much. Clean your brush out before you put it into the next color. If you don't, you're really going to be unhappy. All right, let's do the shovel handle and let's see if I can do it with this little squirrel tail brush. Just some nice little sienna here. Oh yeah, that's a good muddy shovel handle. I just put a little bit there, then I'm gonna drag the rest in. Look at this, it kind of lightens up. Got a little bit of yellow in that brush, there it comes. All right, I'm gonna have to turn the music down because now Jon Stewart's getting obnoxious. Wolves in the kitchen. All right, this of course is a wing coming out here like this. This is, of course, so it'll be a little yellow like the backside of his body right there. His front wing would probably be about right here. Probably right in there like that. It's got some of these marks coming down. Look at this. I'm using this charcoal pencil to go back in over the paint, okay? Remember, I'm a loose rooster painter. I'm a storytelling painter, okay? I'm not worried about people go, I don't think you can paint my rooster because it really doesn't look like my rooster. I go, that's why I never agreed to paint your rooster. I'm not a realist painter. So I hold up my new iPhone and say, hey, you ever seen this camera? It's amazing. Take a picture of your rooster. I'm really not that rude. You know that. I'm just kidding. But sometimes you have to sort of shock people into saying, I'm not sure what it is that you're asking me to do. Yesterday I was painting something and the lady said, it's the year of the horse. And I said, no, I don't think it is. It's the year of the mouse. Not that I keep up with that, but someone else just told me. She said, well, it is, but I was born in the year of the horse. Can you do a horse? And I said, no, I just told you I don't do animals with 4 legs. And so the other lady looked up and said, can you do a cat? Well, your cat been in an accident? He just got 2 legs? You know what I loved about ballads, the words of the song? Everybody needs a Carole King tune. Everybody needs a little more room. Everybody needs a road to hoe. Everybody needs a stone to roll. I always told my wife, I think I could write a country song a day. This was written in 1969 by Jon Stewart, not Jon Stewart the comedian, but Jon Stewart the balladeer guy. And so I've loved his music over the years, and I just hadn't thought about it in 15 years, 20. And the other day I pulled this album out, which made me think of my guitars in the closet. So I went and dug those out. And last time I really played my guitar for anybody publicly, it was probably, it's been maybe 3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, September. Maybe that's when I met Doug Bacon. Maybe, has that been 2 years? Wow. I was helping an organization, and they invited me in because the guy who usually came and entertained for them couldn't come. And they said, would you come and do this? And I go, no, do you know how good that guy is? See? They said, would you come in as an artist and do some songs? And I said, no, do you know how good that guy is that you have here for this event? He is one of my dear friends, and he's also brilliant. He sings better, he writes better, he plays 10 times better. And they said, yeah, but he's got a commitment. And I said, okay, if he's robbing his bees, I'll go rob his bees, because I know how to do that, and send him up here. And they said, no, he can't make it. He has a commitment to do in this city. And they said, please come and do it. And so I said, I had to get over it myself, thinking I'm not as good as he is. But our styles are completely different. And that's what I want you to hear. You have a style that's you. Don't be a rooster painter just because you say, oh, I bet I could paint roosters. If you like them, and if you keep up with them, and if you own chickens and you like them, paint them, okay? Alex Mebane is a good case in that. I own one of Alex's paintings. And he had a chicken named Marzipan. She was a Buff Orpington. Because I asked, why Marzi? And he said, because of Marzipan, my chicken. And so I'm going like, dude, you got a connection. You got to use it. And so Marzi is a little chick who tells stories. And I love that. So if you're telling stories to kids and grandkids, I got to love the fact that you are going to get excited about that. Okay, you see where this big old roo's going right there? He's got a shovel on. Man, we're knocking it out. So it's taken me a longer time to paint this. I'll knock out 4 paintings this size in a morning that it'd take me to paint this. I'm also talking and telling stories and not paying attention, drinking tea and reminiscing that scone that's over there that I need to eat shortly. Beverly Edwards is saying no, closed caption. You grew up in Uniontown, so you guys are just having your own talk this morning. My husband's a Jon Stewart fan. There you go. What color blue is that rooster? It's red blue, yellow blue, orange blue. It is always, what is my color of blue? You guys should know that from 100 days. It is ultramarine blue. Okay. I got 2 Buff Orpingtons. Buff Orpingtons, here's what Buff Orpingtons do. Buff Orpingtons look like they weigh 65 pounds, but when you pick them up, they were like, what happened here? You're ready to lift an anvil. And they don't have the mass, but I love them. They're pretty cool. I think this rooster needs a little bit of dark down here in the bottom end just to kind of mess him up a little bit. I think he's way too clean, way too dirty. So I'm going to go get some dirt, put a little mud on his legs here. I just told you this was maybe a pile of dirt over here. Not too much green in this. Grass is back over here. I think I might come in here with a little bit of a clean brush, if I can get a clean brush here. Washing this brush out takes a whole roll of paper towels. If you ever notice, in fact, if you've seen Joe Miller paint, if you ever watched Joe Miller paint, he'll take a roll of toilet paper and he'll wrap it up in about 6 or 7 Bounty paper towels or Viva paper towels, because those he believes absorbs better. And then he'll press it down, and it'll be this thick on his desk, and he'll take it and go press his brush in like this to really get it cleaned out. There is really something about, and that's not for maintenance. It's not for cleaning your brushes out later. My friend Keith Gold always said, who taught me this, paint with water first and add the color. You got watercolor, okay? He didn't really say it like that. I've adapted it over the years as you adapt everything. You know, we're all a bunch of eclectic people who come up with different things to say, but there's a little bit of too much blue. There's that ultramarine blue. You can't see it. Sorry. Forgot I was painting on a giant piece of paper this morning. There's a little bit of blue in the sky, just a tad. Get it down here like this. Notice I'm just pushing this around. And by the way, I'm pushing this brush around like you would push around oil paint or acrylic paint. I'm just pushing it. Most people think you have to paint water paint like this. Let's be so careful. Just push it around. And this is a big pad. You see all that? This is a big watercolor pad. I use one every day. My TP roll. There you go. All right. So there you go. There's other people who blot like that. I normally don't have that much water on my brushes, so I just do it this way. There's a lot of water on here today. This is going to take a while. I think I need a little more green over here. Just maybe put some green back in here like this. Just want to make a scene out of this for my friend Steve and give his office a little bit of something. All right, so I'm still not happy with the amount of red that ran out here on the yellow, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to just change that a little bit. I'm going to go in and I'm going to take a little bit of white. Where is it? Let's see if I've got some white here. I don't know if I do or not, but if I do, I'm going to drop it in right there, and I'm going to drop in a little piece right there. Look at that. And I'm just going to let it sort of splatter. So I'm just dropping some white in there and just letting it drop in. And I'm going to do a little bit on the shovel handle right here, a little on the dirt. Could put some red worms in there if I wanted to. Don't think I will. But what I do have to do is come in a minute with a pen. I could use probably a number 7. And I know some of you are falling in love with these pens. So much water and no warping. How's that possible? It's warping a little bit, but I'll tell you what. I'm also controlling the water more than you think. I'm not putting out as much as you really think I am. I've never added any full. This is water right here. I'm just going to let it dry that way because I love the darkness of it. And so I don't tape down. Everybody fears, oh no, my paper's going to look like a mushroom. It's probably not if you go accordingly and you don't just wet the whole thing down. You got to really tape it down if you're going to wet it down. This is where you are going to waste some paper and experiment. Okay, so make sure you have fun doing that as you get into this. All right, so I think this rooster needs a little more just red right in here to show that he's in charge. And I also think I want to come in here with a pen and just do some little feather relief down here. He's a working man's rooster. He's got scratches and nicks and a few scars. And I love this concept. This pen is the Gel Point Inner Gel Needle Point. I should have said Inner Gel Needle Point. It's Pentel, Pentel, Target. Office Depot, Staples, the grocery store may even have one. Yeah, sometimes. They're pretty cool pen. If you really want a dozen of them, you could order a dozen online if you didn't want to go shopping and get them. Honestly, I'm out, somewhere every day or so, and I'll just pick up one, and one of them lasts me quite a while. You can buy refills for these too, which I love. After about 3 or 4 uses, the refill will the pen barrel itself, the threads are pretty minuscule here, and it'll get loose and a little sloppy. Then I throw it away. But I buy refills, and you can order those online a lot cheaper. I think it's like, well, honestly, the pen's like $350 for 2 of them, or $379 for 2 pens. And I think there's, I don't know. You'll have to do your own shopping, but which you've been doing already. All right. So there we go. I think what I'm going to do is come in right here and now do a little bit of detail on the feet. Excuse me. I like this big old Roo. I got a caption for him. And so I know some of you are going like, hey, I love this pen or I love that pen. And then my friend slapped me because I painted like this and said, you've got to be really careful when using watercolor paint. Be careful of what? It's not like the watercolor police come and bring you in. See, if I do anything in my life in this painting show that I do, may I help you not to be afraid of anything. What are you afraid of? Are you afraid that the watercolor police are going to come and run you off? And I'm not picking on you at all, Sevilla, not at all. I want to just use that as a great example because I want you to hear people say, oh, aren't you afraid to use watercolor? And I go, no, I'm afraid of dogs that have teeth like this. And then only for a little while because I carry a poking around stick. And so if the dog runs over here, he's going to get poked. And so, look, I'm not afraid of things like that. And so I certainly am not afraid of watercolor. And so get that out of your mind that when people tell you that, oh, you can't do that. You're gonna mess something up. And you go like, you know what? It's just a painting. I can do what I want. Do I sound like it's a Monday? It's Labor Day, but I'm not laboring. painting. All right, I love this right here. Shovels have a little vein across here and across the top like this. They got a little ledge across the top like this. Sometimes shovels even have, if it's a new shovel, it's got a little touch of paint still left on the top of it like this. I like that right here. And then the guys that I worked with, they wanted everybody to know it was their shovel. So they did a little orange piece right here. And sometimes they even painted this piece orange and it sort of got in there like that. They spray a little spray paint on there just like that. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this pen right here, and I'm trying not to touch this painting, and so I'm just going to, in fact, I'm going to have to wait because I'm going to have that all over me. This is why people use a punty or a stick. Maybe I can use this scale right here. Look at this. This is why you see artists use this all the time. An artist will lay the stick down like this. It'll have a knob, or an oil painter will do this all the time where he'll want to keep his hand anchored and he'll want to come in. So I've anchored the end of this scale. I know it's scaring some of you right now. You're going like, oh my gosh, did he just pick up an architectural scale? You're going, not Roo. Anybody in the world, I would expect it to have an architectural scale or a compass or something, but not that guy. And I'm going to tell you this. I have this saying. Okay, I have this saying. And I've had it all my life. I mark with a caliper, but I cut with a chainsaw. Shoot all the brave horses, and how will they ride? And here's what I love right here. This is my point. I may cut with a chainsaw, but every now and I go back in and I get a little piece of that caliper and the detail, and I put in the screws in the shovel. I don't know if you can see them, but I'm going to hold this up so you can right there. It's coming in. It's coming in close. It's flying in. See, the screws are in the shovel. And look, when you see the detail on this, it works, right? It kind of works. It's like, whoa, this painting might work. You might be able to pull this off. I wasn't afraid that I couldn't. I just want to like it before it goes out. So here's the only thing that in my Greisier style, wading through the rain and the turmoil, here's the only thing. I want to be happy with it. I want to go out and never apologize for my work. I want to go out and say, I like that rooster that I sent you. That's why sometimes I just say, I like it. It makes me laugh. It makes me smile. I want you to like it instead of saying, oh, I wish I'd have done a little more red in the tail. I wish I'd have put a little more blue in there. I wish I'd have created. Then put it in there before you send it out. So when you get a rooster from me and there's a drip off to the side or there's something that doesn't look finished, or you go, oh, did he mess this up? What was he thinking about all these spots here? They're going, no, I'll guarantee you he looked at it and said, I like that. I'm happy with that. I'm done. Let's get the heck out of here. We got something else to do. All right? Man, you use a brush like this to splatter, Margie, you're going to get some splatter. What I would like to do is go in here and get a little of this dark and just splatter down here. Then I think I want some of that dirt splattered up. So I think I'm going to go get some of this brown, some of this sepia, and splatter it in here like this. I mean, these guys are dirt guys. Remember what I told you? They're dirt guys. They move earth. So, all right. Excuse me. And I got a cough. All right. Here we go. It's getting there. Look at this. I love it. I'm about ready to finish. This is the first time in 117 days of painting with you guys that it's taken me the entire time with stories and a scone that I can't wait to finish and eat. I'm going to have to warm it back up a little bit. It's taken me that long to paint one rooster because I usually am painting 3 or 4 because of demonstrations and ideas. But hey, I did a little work today because I had my friend who needed a roo. And he wanted a roof for his office. And so man, some songs just take you back, don't they? This takes me back to 1972, being a wrangler and playing this song, Shoot All the Brave Horses and How We Ride. I'd be saddling up 32 different nags we had at a camp and get ready to take people out on horse rides. And do I miss that? Heavens no. I feel about horses like I feel about Wolverines. Okay, I don't miss any of them. I think somebody just sent me a note about a Wolverine. I'll have to look that up. All right. I don't paint Wolverines because they got 4 legs. All right. I don't even paint chickens with 3 legs. Okay. First time I've ever used my my architectural scale, and it's come in handy this morning. I actually had a little bit of mechanical drawing in my past. And guess what? Guess what's in mechanical drawing? That's what's in not. You know what's in mechanical drawing that's not in nature? Straight lines. So when you hear somebody say, "Oh, I can't take the class because I can't draw a straight line," there are no straight lines in here. Look, even the shovel handle's bent. Leave that out, put it in the truck, ride around all day. It's going to get nicked and bent. It's not really straight either. It just isn't. It just isn't straight. So don't worry about it, okay? I like a little dirt on this tail too. I think he's been dragging it down here. I just thought of that. Now what I might do is come back in with that pencil if I can find it. That pencil that it's been eluding me all morning. Here it is, the charcoal. Okay, so I'm gonna come in with the charcoal and I'm gonna put a little more just detail in here like this. Might have to sharpen this charcoal when I'm done with it. This is a Derwent, D-E-R-W-E-N-T, and you know what it is? There it is. I'm in touch with England every morning. There it is. It's a medium charcoal pencil, and so I kind of like it. Then I'm going to go back to my fountain pen here, which I won't be using too much of a fountain pen in the Rue 857 class. Hey, it's almost time to stop. Let me tell you about this. I've got painted a lot of books today, and here's what they look like. There it is right there. It's Hey Roo, What's a Wheelbarrow? You can find it on the site, roodoodles.com. The mug will be available soon. We're painting. We're only going to do about 50 bags to start with, but I've got a ton of cups that are coming. So if you're looking for a diner mug that's got the Roo head on it, they're going to be coming to you. And I'm passing a price on. They're not cheap to do the layout and the logo and have them printed and have them shipped. So I hope you enjoy one if you want one. If not, I'll have a lot of places to put bacon grease. And I'm not worried about them at all. Hey, so roodoodles.com, you can find the book there. Hey, Roo, What's a Wheelbarrow? You know, here's the thing. You can buy the book on Amazon. If you buy the book from me, I will. It'll take a little longer to get it to you because I open the front page and I carefully paint. I don't carefully paint anything, but I paint a little original in the front and I autograph it to you or to grandchildren or sons and daughters. Not congressmen or congresswomen unless you are personally know them. I just threw that in there because I don't make political jokes and nor do I care to. Anyway, I thought that'd be fun. All right, so here we go. A little bit of orange is the only color I don't see in here. I've got a lot of real orange, but I think I just reach over here at my palette and just for fun. I just messed that up. Time out. See, I had a dirty brush. The squirrel brush holds a lot of, this is the bamboo, holds a lot of dirt and water. My water gets very dirty when I paint with those. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of orange and brush it in right here along the bottom side. I just felt like I needed a little bit of that and maybe inside this wing. And just to highlight that right there. And with my charcoal, just cut this line in a little blacker right here. Yeah, there we go, right there. Just roughing that line up. I like that right there. And I like some lines coming up, just like he's got perfect. I like this. I think he's going to love it in his room. And here's the caption, and then I'm gone. I've already used up all my time this morning. I'm going to paint here tomorrow morning. I'll see you at 8:57, and then Wednesday starts the first class, and then I think I'm going to be bringing you a special show, maybe Friday, from up in the mountains with a special artist friend of ours, just a hello from her. So the caption, and I'll send you a picture of it later, the caption on this Roo is going to be, what is it going to be? It's going to be... it's going to be back off, boys. I got dirt to move. That's it. Back off, boys. I got dirt to move. That's it. I like it. There it is. Had to just phrase it right in my mind there a couple times. Thought of it a minute ago and then lost it. So there it is. And it might change in a minute. I might forget about it again. But I think that's what it's going to be. Back off, boys. I got dirt to move. And it's going to go to a dirt mover. It's 18 by 24. Oh, sorry. You're not even watching what I'm watching. I'm just such a loser when it comes to this. Man, there's a lot of bells and whistles. There it is right there. Back off, boys. I got dirt to move. There it is. He's 18 by 24. Woohoo! He's going to look good framed. And yeah, he's pretty doggone flat for a lot of water in here. You can see a little bit of undulation here, but I'm telling you, all this is going to dry and not crinkle. I see a big old pencil line. And what I don't see is an eraser. Oh, there's an eraser right there. So I can come in and just cut a little of that out. And so if eraser dust gets hung in there somewhere, oh, woe is me. All right. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. See, I just said it. I say that about my artwork because it makes me feel confident, and I think he's going to like it. I'm going to sign it right here in the green, right here. Roodoodles.com. And look, I'm painting this size. I'm putting Michael 2020. There it is. All right, here's where you keep messing around. Put the brush down and back away from the easel. Okay, hey, I appreciate you guys being a part of the show this morning. Thank you. You did good big. Thank you, Denise. Hey, listen, before you take your last sip this morning, think of two names right now. The one that came to you first, send them a text. Just say, I hope you're loving your day. I hope you're being well. And I just wanted to touch base with you and say hello. See you tomorrow. Lord willing.